He's going to do the introduction.
There you go. Hello and welcome to the Will I Vike It podcast. I'm here at the Ancient Technology Centre today and my guests are Seidrblot. We've got John, Vizzy and Tom.
Hello.
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 I nearly called you Seidrblot because I've been joking all day about the Wurzels' new album is going to be called Seidrblot.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we can make it a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. Yeah, it's great.
So
We love the building.
yeah, it's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah. So I guess we should maybe start at the beginning. Like, where did you guys start? How did you sort of form Seidrblot?
It's Jorvik Festival, wasn't it?
Yes, it was first time we met all three together.
Yeah.
It was at that Jorvik Viking festival. I already have met you before.
Yeah.
And we did a few jam sessions.
Yeah. I bought an instrument from you as well.
Yeah, we did a few jam sessions before, but then that stopped. And then we met all together that Jorvik Festival 2017 or 18. Yeah. And a month after that, we started jamming in my shed.
19. Time ago. It's 2019. We all got together.
Possible,
Yeah, 2019.
Yes, 2019, because it was just a few days after my son was born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whose idea was creating the band?
I think we all had our own idea of wanting to be in a project regarding this kind of music, this style. I looked for him, we met together,
Yeah.
and we made it happen.
I didn't think it would be possible, to be honest. Like, there are so few people, or at the time, there were so few people doing this sort of music in England, let alone the South. You'd have to sort of travel far and wide to find musicians.
Yeah.
It just so happened that Vizzy lived 20 minutes up the road from me, hour up the road from you. It was meant.
It was meant. Yeah, it's like yeah, that's it. We were so it, like you say, it's rare to find people that have got a similar idea of what they want to get out of the project, sort of thing. And we were already doing stuff, so we were kind of doing reenactment and things, and Anglo-Saxon reenactment, and it just the timings worked really well for us to all kind of naturally come. It was quite organic, I think, really, when it came together. So that was good. I know you've been sort of obviously making instruments and writing songs and stuff anyway, so you kind of kick-started that, and it kind of sort of progressed from there, sort of thing.
Do you all do reenactment? Because I know you do.
I don't.
Yeah, this is odd one out at the moment. Yeah. I say at the moment because you never know, right?
Yeah, when I was in Spain, I was involved in some kind of
Lab
spectacle, but it wasn't reenactment.
Yeah.
And I don't think at the moment I'm alright for doing reenactment. I have too many things in my head.
It's a big hobby to get into, right? Like, there's a lot to it, so yeah.
It takes over a bit.
It does. It really does. Yeah. So yeah, we kind of been doing Anglo-Saxon stuff you've been doing it for a few years, I guess.
Yeah. Then I've sort of taken a step back from that, and again, like busy, too many things going on.
Yeah. But all three of us have done bands and stuff previously. So like music was always there. And we were kind of, we've done lots of different projects and stuff in the past. Just this one, like finding three people, like I say, like-minded and stuff. It was, I know it sounds like a trope to be meant to be, but it was, it kind of all just sort of came together at the right time.
And also, we are all coming from a metal-ish background.
Yeah.
Well, it maybe doesn't mean nothing, but it helps us to connect. Maybe we listen to a band outside of this genre. We kind of have similar tastes.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So I guess, if we're talking about the style of music, in case anyone doesn't know, how would you describe Seidrblot's music?
Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah.
I would describe it myself.
Viking music?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to pigeonhole us as Vikings.
I would say Norse inspired shamanic music, because I think even if what people listen or what they expect when they listen to us is Viking, but I talk for myself the most. I'm more into shamanism than Viking things.
Yeah, I think it depends on so we like people tell us what genre they think we are. You get so many different ranges as well, so I think it's really difficult for us to kind of pigeonhole ourselves into one thing like Viking music. So we get like pagan folk music and shamanic music and all different types of stuff, like lots of different genres. So yeah, it's kind of what the listener makes of it, really. I think. Yeah, I don't think we want to just be Viking. I think we are Norse inspired, but we cover a lot of things. Don't we? Try and use lots of different instruments and stuff as well. Yes,
And the,
range.
what I think that links our music with shamanism and meditation is that, at least I think we three agree, when we played, we managed to zone out and go in little journeys while playing the songs.
Yeah.
And I hope the public is perceiving that as we do when we played.
That obviously links back to your name as well, Seidrblot, Cedar Magic.
Yeah, it's sort of like a ritual.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, when we got the name, the idea of the name, it was like shamanic ritual.
Yeah.
But obviously it can be translated different ways. But that's the idea, and I guess that's what the name of the band wants to show. To me.
Yeah, not just like ritual, but celebration as well. I think. I think we like to write stuff for all different sort of situations and scenarios. We've got funeral songs, but we've also got sort of war songs, battle songs, ritual songs, that kind of stuff. So I think again, we don't just do the one area. I think we kind of try and expand on stuff. So yeah, kind of a lot of different things really.
We're going to speak about that funeral song. What's behind the song?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So when that song first was wrote in the very early version of it, because now we have worked on harmonies and it has evolved a lot. But the first time that I played the song and what I envisioned, it was a way for me to say goodbye to my grandparents because I was away from home. And I kind of had the feeling that I couldn't be there for when they were dying. So I had the need to make that song.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. And in the end, when they died, I wasn't able to be over there. So it's a special song to me.
Yeah.
And I think it's much better now that we have evolved it and it is not so raw, being a very raw song.
So did you say that was the first song you wrote?
No, it wasn't. Well, that song was
As Seidrblot, I mean, rather than...
the first song we got as Seidrblot all together. It was a schedule.
Yeah.
That scheduled Taggle Harper part, I wrote it in Jorvik Viking Festival and after being with them. So
That's the one with the video on the beach?
Yeah.
With Black Sand?
that's the one, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not very good with song names, so I
It actually should be a video of that scheduled Taggle Harper part, playing it in Jorvik 2019 on the streets.
Just chuck some drums to it and
Yeah.
became almost like a signature piece.
It's kind of a big tune that everybody wants
it's
to
a
hear.
big finisher, a big sort of song. For now anyway. Until the new stuff sees the line.
Yeah. Skeggle's been a really good kind of flagship for us.
Yeah.
Really. I think it kind of encapsulates a lot of what we're about, and I think as a song, it's really popular because it's quite upbeat. It encapsulates the idea of the sound that we're looking for and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's been really popular since we started, really, isn't it? We get most people asking us to play that one, I think, above all else. So yeah, really popular.
But we have ideas of making new videos with the new songs.
Yeah.
That, we expect to be closer to what we are as a band.
Because you said you started 2019?
2019, yeah. So
So you've had like a difficult
Yeah.
journey as a beginning for a band.
Yeah.
it's
It's well timed.
It has been a bit of a turbulent old
Up and
time.
down, up and
Yeah.
down. Crazy, yeah.
So I mean, started off 2019, early 2019. The summer of that year, we played our first show. That was playing 3 nights at Seidrblot, which for a first show playing overseas, that
Pretty
was
surreal.
a bit of a dream come
Yeah.
true, really.
Don't think I was there that year.
No, it was my first year, and I've been every year since. Like, fell in love with the
It
festival.
was the windy year.
The windy year.
Yeah.
I've been
torrential
all but
rain and stuff.
2 since it started. The first year I definitely didn't go. When was the other one? Maybe I was there because I think it was about 2016 or 17 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the year that we flew out. Sort of first trip as a
Oh
band.
yeah.
And
It was
Norwegian
2019.
Air lost our luggage.
Yeah.
So our
Yeah.
tents, our sleeping bags,
Tuners.
some tuners,
Some instruments. Yeah.
yeah. So luckily, we did. They delivered it to us on the last day.
Yeah, the day we were leaving.
Useful.
Yeah. So luckily, the organisers put us up in one of the cabins that they have.
Yeah, we were
which
really
was
lucky.
amazing considering the storm hit and
Yeah.
wiped out tents. So
We were really fortunate.
yeah, we
It
were.
was torrential rain that whole weekend, wasn't it? It was awful. But
I think that year I might have stayed in the volunteer camp.
yeah,
I think I was offered a tent space there.
Yeah, but we got quite lucky
We did.
because even if we didn't have all our gear to play, we got helped a bit by the sound guys over there and from people from other bands like Esper and Thomas from Eldrim. They lent me a tuner for my tackle harpa. We just got help, but
Yeah.
it was great.
It was an interesting sort of couple of shows to cut our teeth, really.
yeah, definitely.
We kind of just went for a few sort of shows. We did Manchester and London with Knitland.
Yeah,
Then our sort of one of the highlights of the early days was a year after first forming. Back at Jorvik Festival, we played the Jorvik Takeover,
Yeah.
supporting Highland, which was crazy.
It was mind blowing.
Crazy for us. And that was a few days after the first confirmed COVID cases had hit the UK
yeah,
in the hotel next to the Barbican in York.
yeah,
So we were like at ground zero for the UK. You know, that was a big gig. We figured this is a sort of springboard. This is our way to get into the scene sort of well and truly. And then the world shut down.
I mean, you could connect the start of Seidrblot creating a worldwide pandemic.
Yeah.
yeah.
You were grounded.
Actually, we went to play a gig in Germany,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Tom couldn't make it because he had an exam.
John
John could.
John could make
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I was moved to go.
Hello, that's me. I confuse names. So John had an exam.
Yeah.
He couldn't come. Another friend of mine came to help us with some drums.
Yeah.
And when we published it on Facebook, we said John is not coming because he got the COVID, like making a joke.
Yeah.
And weeks after, everyone was blowing with the COVID.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was Wacken Winter Nights, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was cancelled anyway because of the storms.
Yeah, in the end, the festival got cancelled. We managed to play in a small event that was put there for the people that travel to the place. And your exam got cancelled in the end as
Yeah.
well.
So I could have flown out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it's crazy.
It was.
A lot of
Very
lot of
interesting,
misfortune in the early years.
Yeah.
But it came out of COVID, went on to play, I think, the first big festival back, and that was Bloodstock in 2021. So one of the first big events back.
Yeah.
And we were lucky enough to be offered a slot opening the main stage, which for me, like, I was getting Bloodstock as a kid. You know, I was blown away by Bloodstock. It was my first sort of big UK festival, and looking up at the main stage, I was always in sort of metal bands, and I was like, I'll never be good enough to play the big stage. And as luck would have it, we were sort of what they were after for the Sunday morning. So opened that day for Judas Priest, which is an interesting one. And that was a hell of a show.
Yeah,
That was really fun.
we've been so lucky with our events and our
Yeah.
shows. They've all been mega surreal, and I think not like you were saying. We played these crazy shows, which when you for our first big events and stuff, they're insane. But also as well, having to deal with stuff like COVID and stuff, I imagine it stuff that bands don't deal with on a regular basis either. So we were really learning as we went, sort of thing. It was incredible, really really good experiences. Bloodstock was just amazing.
And I think that also was an eye opener for us, in a way that we started to investigate more about upgrading our gear, upgrading
Yeah,
what we use on a stage. At the moment, we never have used any backing track in any of our gigs. Well, just one intro track, but never anything like that. We're working on that. This is the man is dealing with all the technicalities.
Bringing a
wizard.
bringing an oldie timey band into the 21st century.
Yeah,
Because at the end of the day, we're 3 dudes with 6 hands.
yeah, we're limited, right?
There's not much else that we can do. Vizzy needs both hands to the tag harper. We need both hands for drums. We are limited with the amount of people that we are. However, backing tracks can make a.
I think most
something
bands
bigger.
use them anyway, right?
Yeah. Like Midgard's Blot this year, are sort of delving into the world of backing tracks and in-ear monitors and all the tech stuff. I noticed it a lot more, sort of doubling up sort of big drum beats just to create that earth-shattering sound. That's what the future holds for us.
Yeah.
Just bring the tech aspect up. That in itself is a bit of a learning curve.
I guess is that easier than trying to bring in more members, like, because then you can find new.
Well, to be honest, at some point in the very early stages, I mentioned about maybe having someone else joining the band to help with drums and free John to play other instruments. But I think the band, it has to be like this. We are 3. It has taken us a while where kind of we know each other.
Yeah.
And it's not just people that you met a couple of weeks ago and you're playing with them for a couple of gigs.
It's also cheaper to buy extra luggage than it is to buy an extra plane ticket.
Yeah. And I don't like many people anyway, so
Being sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's progression is the thing that we're kind of looking for, I think, going forwards. And I think that's a natural progression for us, is to move down the backing tracks and just bringing that extra level of professionalism that we strive for to take us to that next level. So the stuff John's doing already with kind of working on the backing tracks and just setting just an atmosphere and an ambience to the music that we're already doing. It's going to take it to the next level.
Also means that we have a bit of ambience between tracks, because certain people don't like talking between songs or say the same thing at every show, which is
it's because normally in the gigs it gets very hot on the stage. And I don't like hot weather. I don't deal very good with the hot.
for a Spaniard. It's
That's why he's here.
every show.
But it's funny because I met you at Midgard last year, and you introduced yourself to me, and then I was like, "Sorry, I didn't recognise you because you don't have your hood on." So like, because you've always had hoods up, I didn't know.
That's all the thing that we are trying to improve. The stage wear.
Yeah.
We were at the moment using cloaks and hoods, but we never had like a very strong band stage wear to go all together. So we're working on that as well. Next year I should be seeing on the stages.
Yeah. So again, we're just 3 dudes who occasionally sort of sit on chairs, sit on logs, sit on whatever we could be provided. We've got floor toms that look all very, very nice and modern. So not only is it working on the music side of things, bringing the music into the 21st century, but also backdating the stage itself. So not just the stage wear, but the entire stage dressing, making it a bigger performance, delivering a bigger performance, and delivering the same performance every time.
Yeah, consistency.
Yeah,
that's one of the key.
We
things.
play completely sort of different venues, from actual music festivals, music venues, to playing sort of living history villages. I mean, going from main stage at Bloodstock with all of the tech, all of the expense spent on the music side of things, to going to another venue playing sort of in a field, small stage, small speaker system,
or even acoustic.
Yeah,
or even acoustic, and just making it work. But you never know what you're going to get at these events.
No.
So it is just delivering the same thing every time.
Yeah.
Now we are trying to get some minimum requirements to make everything more homogenic, or
Yeah.
Good ones. I was only worried for a second, that this shouting might be coming out as loud as talking in here.
Yeah, it sounds like
Because he suddenly started shouting by the entrance.
filming's key.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
Did have another question. What was it? Oh yeah, so going back to the sort of creation of music, where do you take your inspiration from for making music?
That's a good question. Everywhere, I think.
Yeah.
Honestly. I know that there's things that we're very connected to, and we sound similar to, and things like that.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be some crossovers where we're almost subconsciously building things in that we've heard from other places, that kind of thing. But it really ranges for us. I know even sort of back from what we listened to as kids that our parents put on and all this sort of stuff. It makes a big difference to what we're doing now. And like Vijay said before, I think the fact that we're connected to metal so much and to rock and things like that, I think that has a big impact on what we're playing now. Because whether you like it or not, and you might have an idea in your head, we are three individual people with our own backgrounds and our own likes and dislikes and styles and all this sort of stuff. So hopefully all three of us have made that sort of impact on the music. I think it's natural for us to kind of go we're really close to Highland and Wardruna and all those types of bands because it's the same ilk, but I like to think that we probably take stuff from rock and metal and build it into it as well, and even further afield.
Definitely take a fair whack from traditional sort of Mongolian.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is it. There's loads of impacts, I think.
Mongolian throat singing is a big part. Well, I would say Mongolian, but it's not just Mongolian. Altai, Turkic, different. We like throat singing, all the styles, and we listen to it. And even if we're driving in the car, and the moments when I don't know, we don't have an accident, we just go throat singing.
Yeah, we're always like working on vocals, throat singing, anything, right? Yeah, whenever you get the chance.
But I would like to mention about the inspiration, because I'm just coming out of a period of probably around 2 years or maybe even more. That was very hard for me to find inspiration, and not just find inspiration, but transform it into something. And that I found is related to some mental health treatment I was taking.
Yeah.
And as soon as I stopped it, in matter of 2-3 weeks, I can feel how all of that inspiration is coming back. So mental health treatment tablets are not good for inspiration.
The Robins come to join you.
Vocal.
But anyway, I can say about myself,
Yeah.
I'm all the time writing notes in my phone, doing like little voice memos. I'm at work, I'm throat singing, I'm thinking of stuff. Or even playing in the woods. I try to play in the woods as much as I can in my lunch breaks at work and things. I just grab an instrument, play for 10 minutes. Even those little 10 minutes, it can bring you something for later.
Might pause until he stops shouting. Because I think he's as loud as you are.
Okay!
Do you reckon the cider might be warm?
Yeah, shall I get you some cider?
Yes, please.
All right, so we paused briefly there because of some noise outside because they're filming a project that's been on this podcast before. So anyone that's followed the podcast would already know about the fog on the Barrow Downs. And we've got some food and some cider, and we're just going to carry on with the chat. So I think we should probably talk a bit more about where you guys are going with the music because you've got a new album on the way, right?
We do. It's a culmination of a re-recording of the older tracks and a fair amount of new stuff. So we've been working with Will from Will I Vike It to record. Mixing, mastering is going to go to Gisli, also of Will I Vike It. And should be with us in
Spring?
The spring, early summer at the very, very latest next year. Yeah.
So then would the plan be to take that on tour?
We're looking at a few sort of festivals for next summer. I don't know if we'd sort of suit touring at the sort of the level that we're at. It's something that we would really like to get to.
I think touring at the moment, it can be tricky for us because obviously we have day jobs.
Yeah.
And sometimes touring is not as easy. If you count touring as going for a month or 2 weeks, some people call touring doing a gig on Friday and Saturday. What in a way is, but that's something we could do. But at the moment, we are not going to do long tours like 1 month, traveling to all the countries and non-stopping. But it's something that can be studied for the future, definitely.
I think we're just aiming for a lot of festivals next summer just to get around as much as we can. Summer's definitely work for me. I'm a teacher by trade, so the 6 weeks off over summer work beautifully for that. But we've already got a few offers from a few festivals next year. Just in talks with a few others to get on, but nothing that we can announce at present.
But talking about the new music is basically going to be very close to the set list we have at the moment. But all introduced to all the new technical gear and backing tracks that we want to do next. So that's what you should expect from the new album.
So before we started recording, you told me a story that I thought was quite amusing, and maybe you could tell the listeners.
The moral of every story, every funny story that we have as a band is don't travel with Vizzy. Vizzy makes an interesting travel companion, I'd say.
Keeps you on your toes, definitely.
The highlight of that would be one of our flights to Ireland. We played quite a few shows over at Slane Castle.
Do anyone want any blood bread?
I will do shortly. After this little regaling of the tale. So we were running quite late. We were running quite late to the airport, so we missed our check-in. We had a big suitcase, a couple of smaller suitcases, all of which we had to check in. And the guy at the desk was like, right, to make it as easy for you guys as possible, 2 of you can get on the plane. 2 of you can take the 2 smaller suitcases that should have been, hold luggage, but we'll just let you take them on the plane. To make it cost effective, 1 of you stay behind with the smaller suitcase, or the big suitcase, sorry, and get a flight out later. So me and Tom were the ones that
You drew the straws.
we drew the straws. It wasn't so bad. Like we got in a little bit early. Vizzy stayed behind for a couple of hours,
stay in
chilling at the airport. But
it was 4 hours.
Yeah, just before we hit security, I was like, right, we need to go through these bags with a, I don't trust Vizzy to pack bags. Like they're like, have you packed this bag yourself, sir? Yeah, needed to double check, and I opened up just before we get into security, check to see if he's left any bottles of water in there or anything, and I'm greeted by an axe, a sharp hand axe. Now we use the axe live. Tom whacks a bit of wood with an axe.
I do, yeah.
Percussive effect.
Mm.
So if we'd have been taking this on hold luggage, it would have been absolutely fine. You can travel with an axe.
Yeah.
It's no issue. When you're carrying on, different story. So we had to run back. So we were already sort of like
We were already late.
under it with the time.
Yeah.
I think we had about 20 minutes to blast through security, run to the gate. They were holding the plane for us. It was not ideal. So we had to run back,
Not our
find
finest
Vizzy.
hour.
And I said, in a very hushed tone, this was Heathrow Airport. I said in a very hushed tone to Vizzy, it's like, right, go into one bag, grab a t-shirt out, put it into this bag, and just wrap it round the axe so you can subtly move it into the big suitcase. And Vizzy is...
Don't make a big scene.
Yeah, don't make a scene. Don't say anything. Just do it very, very subtle. Subtlety, I don't think, is in Vizzy's vocabulary. So he just whips the axe out and he's like, "It's okay. It's only an axe. It's not the
Holding it aloft like heat or something like that.
And then, I was stood there stunned. I think you were the same, Vizzy, waving an axe at Heathrow Airport.
And nothing happened. So, people are so scared about doing things that in the end nothing happened.
No, do not encourage the listeners, viewers.
Don't do it. No.
Thank you.
It was a great little story.
It wasn't. We can laugh.
From
at
my
that.
perspective, I really didn't know what was the problem because I wasn't doing anything with the axe.
Food was really good, Craig. Thank you.
Yeah,
Really tasty.
Really nice.
delicious.
Yeah, I like it.
Very nice nice cider. cider. Food is though.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's barley and cheese.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Actually, I really liked it because of that. Because it was barley and cheese.
Yeah.
That's it. And you could taste both.
Yeah. I really like the sweetbread as well. That was really tasty. Really tasty.
The blood bread's nice. The blood
Yeah.
ones. Yeah.
Take your word for it.
So tell everyone, Tom, you've been vegan?
Veggie.
Yep.
Yeah. Vegetarian. So no blood bread, but it looks tasty.
Oh, you knew. You already knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we're having cheesy barley
Yeah.
and not anything like meaty.
Yeah. To accommodate
I
the single.
Pre-warned.
I thought it was the end of the month.
Where you guys learned to play your instruments? Was it just trial and error? Because obviously things like the tagelharper,
Yeah.
they're not exactly something that you can go for tagelharper lessons in the local.
Yeah, that's true.
So where do you pick up things like that?
By myself, by doing it.
Trial and error.
Trial and error.
When I started making tagelharpas, it was because I wanted one, and I really didn't know any maker around or something that I could afford at the time. So I just make one. I didn't like it 100%. I made another one. I made another one, and then I started getting messages from people asking me if I could make one for them. And that's how I started making them and playing them just by playing the instruments I was making.
Yeah.
I've never had any classes from any other tagelharpa player, but I also play different instruments like guitar, but that could also be linked to having a metal background because I can see similarities in the way that I write music for Seidrblot or in the ways I write music for other metal projects. Because at the end is my way of thinking music, so I interchange techniques and scales.
but I guess it's how I started playing it and how I've learned. It could be similar to you as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've studied music most of my life. I studied guitar performance at university, so I've always been very sort of musically minded. Played a number of musical instruments over the years. I used to play the trumpet as a kid, but naturally progressed onto guitar because guitar was the cool instrument. Playing the tagelharpa for the first time, the concept, the theory behind it, is just your standard music theory. You figure out what the notes or where the notes are, how to get to there, but there's no fretboard. That was a big learning curve for me with the tagelharpa.
Yeah.
The lyre side of things I was introduced to through reenactment, Anglo-Saxon reenactment, and that's very similar to the harp in a way, just limited with the strings in comparison. Everything we play, in terms of sort of ancient instruments, I guess, has that modern counterpart. I guess you could say that the tagelharpa is almost violin-like. With like the bowing, like needing the right sort of amount of resin, the strings. However, the lack of fretboard is an interesting one.
Still there. Well, that's what it makes that instrument.
It makes it unique.
More complex than the average because it is it's not fingerboard, it's not fretboard, it's no indicators will tell you to put the finger, so it's on the player really.
Which means that it's not always going to be 100% perfect note, which gives it that kind of dissonance that's natural to the instrument and gives it its unique and attractive sound.
The first time I listened to tagelharpa, I remember that time. It was back in Spain, and I remember I was going for a walk in the snow up in the mountains, and I remember I had a friend that is an illustrator artist for bands, for EP covers, CD covers, merch. So he said, "Oh, have you listened this band that the Gorgoroth drummer have made?" And he said, "Sure, you would like this." And I said, "Okay." And I gave it a listen that time, and I couldn't figure out what was that out of tune violin that I couldn't 100% process in my mind, but it was so captivating for me, really. And since that, I never forgot that kind of sound. So that's definitely the very first link that introduced me to these instruments.
Yeah, I'd kind of had a similar to John, really. For me, I think it was reenactment that kind of got me into the older music and instruments. I played a long time in lots of different bands and stuff, but modern music and modern instruments. But through reenactment, I got the lyre first, so similar to yourself. Because I think it just naturally transfers from guitar. There's lots of elements to it that kind of go across quite nicely, and sort of you can apply the same techniques, but still with a lot of learning to do. And then honestly, like, I think it's only got better and better. I think when we first started, it was quite limited on other people that were doing it, say, online and stuff like that. So there wasn't like many peers that you could go to for assistance, but there were some key bits that I got online, so I think that there was a lot of people, sort of key people that have been doing lyre stuff in particular, were a really good source for inspiration just to learn some of the basic techniques. I think we're quite lucky because Anglo-Saxon stuff, some of the key things they wrote down was sort of music, poetry, stories, riddles, that kind of stuff, so it all kind of helps with that very base thing, but that was like a gateway really into the rest of them. So from there on, we've kind of gone into lots of different instruments now, and not just stopping with sort of limited to, again, like we said before, like just Norse stuff or just Germanic or something like that. We're doing lots of different things. It was a really good gateway one though, the lyre. I'd always recommend that if anybody, like when we do reenactments and people stop by and they're like, how did you get into it and stuff? Yeah. The lyre is always the one first and foremost. It's a beautiful instrument, relatively simple to play, but like hard to master, I would say. And then they're not ridiculously expensive, but obviously the better quality, the more expensive they are. So it's a good kind of entry level one, I think, for people to get on. But beyond there, then you're just hooked in. Like, you just kind of get into it and do so much more after that.
It's a slippery slope.
It is.
An instrument.
Expensive, slippery slope.
Yeah.
I think the main difference between tagelharpa and lyre in the ways of learning how to play it. I think that a lyre that is in tune is very difficult to make it sound wrong. If it's in tune and you play something very basic, it's gonna sound good or relatively good because it's tuned into a key.
Yeah.
But the tagelharpa is very different. I mean, it can be perfectly in tune, but if you apply more pressure with the bow or with your finger on the string, it goes out of key.
And that makes sense, doesn't it? Because I think the idea with the lyre, I guess, I think traditionally it was passed around the fire, and especially in Anglo-Saxon times, even if you weren't particularly musical, you'd pass it around the fire. Everybody would tell a story and plink away on it. And even if you weren't that great, you'd probably get a decent tune. As Vizzy says, it's kind of geared up for people with like entry-level knowledge or just starting, or whatever, to be able to get a good tune out of it. I definitely feel like you say, because it's fretless, the tagelharp is just that much more difficult to find the correct tunes and learn. It's like it's sort of motor functions almost, isn't it? You just second-hand nature kind of thing. You just learn it on the go. So there is a big difference there, definitely.
Forget about the main instrument that we use, which is what's that voice?
Voices, go on.
No.
So where do you learn to fret? Go on.
I think I'd always sort of tried learning throat watching videos on YouTube, watching the tutorials, and I just couldn't get it.
Yeah.
Like, my idea of throat singing was almost like a very, very deep voice. Just couldn't grasp it. We started rehearsing. I think you were much the same.
Oh yeah.
Started rehearsing. Vizzy could throat sing already. I think through like years of practicing in the car, wasn't it?
Probably 1 year or something.
Yeah.
I was throat singing before. Yeah, because that 1 year, I believe. Yeah. Yeah.
But through sort of practicing together, sort of Vizzy was really encouraging of us to sort of throat sing, because there's not many
and stuff. Yeah.
not many bands that you can sort of have three doing throat singing and harmonise in the throat singing as well.
Yeah.
But seeing Vizzy doing it, seeing it in flesh, watching how he was doing it, I think one rehearsal I just got it.
It's a game changer. Just
just getting it's almost like finding the biting point.
Yeah.
You find the biting point in the throat, and through that that's been a bit of a spiral.
Yeah. Once you do it, once you engage it first, and you memorize how to do it, basic throat singing I don't think is so difficult. Like doing a basic kargira. There are other styles that are very, very difficult.
Throat singing's a sort of, once you pop, you just can't stop.
I think there's different styles of throat singing around from different places in the world.
Yeah.
And also different styles of throat singing from the same place in the world. So people only think it's just crazy people making some noises. Some people like it, but it's actually, I think it's a complex technique to at least dominate several styles of throat singing and be able to be good at them, like dominate them and be able to perform with them. Something that we are always learning, I guess.
Again, that's another reason I think that we were quite lucky to work together on it and to find each other when we did, because as John says, finding three people that not only can throat sing, are into the same stuff, we get on, and then be able to kind of develop their throat singing and stuff as well in harmonies and all this sort of stuff. We were fortunate to find it. So yeah, really lucky. But I know you guys have been, like John, you've recently done, like, you're always learning and sort of developing more things, aren't you? That's the thing,
so
styles.
I've recently been sort of working on my sort of more Mongolian style. So I think Vizzy's more Tuvan throat singing, I guess, with the Kargadar and the Sigit, whereas I've been learning from the sort of more Mongolian school of the Hahira, which is very similar, and Mahume, which is the sort of the higher pitched, whistly sort of sound that you get. But it is just the slight geographical differences that make it gel quite nicely.
Yeah.
I think there is a theory that the Vikings used throat singing, right? Because
There is.
there's
Yeah.
There's a
myths, I think,
theory.
about them. They sounded like dogs. or
Dogs,
something.
Yeah, they sang with
Also-
their throats like
yeah.
dogs.
Well,
Yeah.
what you mentioned before we started recording about the Spanish Viking, I think it was a written evidence that someone was describing the Vikings passing through, I think it was Sevilla, singing like if they were roaring and growling like animals.
Yeah.
You can interpret that in different ways, but definitely throat singing could be one of them. Maybe not as evolved throat singing like all of these hume, sigit, and whistly things, but maybe some basic throat singing I think is very possible.
Yeah, so there, because this could take us a while with three of you. There's certain questions that I ask.
I think we're gonna be straight to the point.
Yeah.
Straight to the point.
Try and condense it as best as we can.
Yeah, so the first one is if you had an unlimited budget, what would be your dreaming project?
We actually discussed this one almost.
Is the group
Preparation.
Yeah,
Well, we all had individual ideas that we'd not really spoken about before, but they all
Kind of
they all align really, really well. So for me, it was sort of, the goal of having a lot of land, a lot of forested land, lakes, streams, and just being able to live sustainably off the land in a nice little log cabin. Busy.
after to all of that, you had a workshop where I can keep making things, music room, being away from people. I would say.
Yeah, nice. Animals for me, I think. I'd like to be able to have some animals. Maybe sort of like a sanctuary type thing. Yeah, I think that would be the thing. If I could, where money wasn't an option, because obviously being able to look after so many animals is expensive. So yeah, I think that's what I would do. Definitely.
So if you could all support the band, buy the land merch and help us buy
You can do a plug at the end.
Yeah.
buy several.
If there's anyone there with a big piece of land
Once
who wants to donate to us,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
we're up for it.
We're kind of unofficially starting like a commune or something, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say cult.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
the cult of what?
Cult of Stephen.
Yeah, that's it. We could have little celebrations and stuff, that kind of thing. It'd be good.
Bring the boys home.
Yeah,
I'd be all over that.
Yeah.
All over that.
100%.
I don't know if I would like to live in a commune because then would be too many people around. I don't like that many people around. I think a few is fine, but for a long period of time, I don't think I would like to have people like living in a commune when you share everything. Well,
They could build your house up to the side.
Yeah.
Straight.
that's true. Yeah,
It lives up to the
If
top.
you've got lots of land, what's that hut up on the mountain?
yeah,
Just there.
yeah.
We don't go up there.
I can say that. Yeah, that's right.
Just the rumbles of throat. So
you know, back in Spain where I used to live, it was like a mountain town, and I remember in the very top of the mountain, it was like a stone hut that someone used to live in there, and people used to describe that man like the crazy, like
Yeah.
and all I could think since then is.
want to
I
be
want to
that
be here.
Aspiration.
Yeah, it was at the very top of the mountain, amazing views. All you could find there was cows.
So he worked it out, kind of thing. He'd
Yeah.
he'd
miles
that
and
way.
miles from airport security.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I guess it's just affecting myself.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you think you could survive on a bike-made diet?
I could survive. I don't think I would like it, but survive. Yeah, we're humans. Our resilience is. It doesn't finish. We could survive. Yeah.
I reckon I'd probably survive better just take all the
Not
processed
just survive the
shit
right.
out of the diet. But yeah, no, I fully reckon
Yeah.
I could thrive off it without all the processed everything.
Yeah, fair. I think, yeah, likewise. If it's the food's like you prepared for us today, great, definitely, 100%. It's really good.
Yeah, well, definitely. This was really good.
Yeah.
I was more thinking about dried fish and all that. I don't like fish. I could survive. I would eat it before dying, but I don't think I would enjoy it.
Yeah. I think, yeah, we could make it work, I guess. You'd eat fish, right? If you were going on a journey or something.
He did say if he had to.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I have,
Push comes to shove.
if there is nothing else, yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
But
It's better than starving to death.
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Is there any food you'd miss on a boat?
Coffee
Yeah.
is a drink, but coffee.
Yeah, same. Coffee, chocolate, I think. The two things. I eat chocolate pretty much daily, I think. So yeah, those two things. Coffee, I don't think I could function in the mornings without coffee.
Or in the evenings.
No, if I have it like after 12, I'm up forever sort of thing. Yeah.
As ashamed as I am to admit it, I think for me it'd be Monster. So
Monster.
I
Yeah.
don't really do hot drinks, so it'd be a can of Monster
Yeah.
and a lot of Grebo I am. Food wise, I'm a sucker for like pastel donata,
Yeah.
just nice custardy pastries.
No, that's fair.
I'd struggle without those.
Yeah.
Probably would miss some good meat when it's not the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think chocolate, honestly, would be the only thing that I'd struggle without, genuinely. That's really sad to say, I think. But yeah, I think I would. Yeah, coffee. Coffee is the key thing.
Yeah, coffee.
Coffee.
100%.
All right. So, what's the weirdest thing in your kitchen?
Weirdest thing in mine would be, so my wife at the moment is growing some. my wife is growing some.
Did you hear that, Jen?
She's growing some oyster mushrooms, which I'd say is pretty weird because it comes in like a big block type thing, and you've got to cut it open and they grow, and it's, I don't know, it's like a little miniature farm type thing.
Yeah.
So that's really cool, and we tried them the other day, and they're really good, really good. And I'd never really sort of tried them before, you know, that I know of anyway. But yeah, so they were really good, but very strange to have those growing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool.
My kitchen is an extension of my workshop.
Yeah.
The bits of instrument and
At the moment, there are instruments in my kitchen. It's a lot of fishing gear. Is a bench set for a sewing machine. Is an airbrush set up for painting lures.
how big is this kitchen?
I call it the kitchen because there's a sink in it. Yeah, I don't really like the typical conventional living spaces. I like doing things.
Yeah.
So it's also in my kitchen. I have a lot of wood in it. So many different species. Yeah, that's probably the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
All of that.
I've-
Of myself when I'm in it.
Definitely. I was thinking about this the other day. I was trying to think, what have I got in my kitchen that's not your sort of standard food preparation item or food itself. And then I've literally just remembered that on my windowsill, I've got a load of jars of tinctures and balms that I'd made myself on a bushcraft course a few years ago. So I've got rather nice tincture of betony and wood sage, the properties of which betony is supposed to ease the symptoms of anxiety and depression. Wood sage is meant to stop flatulence, so it's a hell of a tincture, that one.
Yeah.
And some balms to stop sort of itching when you get stung by stinging nettles. It's
Yeah.
just various balms and tinctures, I guess.
You haven't been using that tincture recently, did you?
No.
I don't
Oh.
know.
Okay,
Shots
so
fired.
next one is what's the worst thing you've ever eaten? Or drunk. Some people like to get drunk.
Tofu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
Not on board with
Can't do
tofu. No.
No. You do.
I would say anything with coriander.
Not a fan of coriander. You get the soapy thing. Some
Yeah,
people
it's
say that.
disgusting, and
Yeah.
not a fan of Indian food in general. I don't like when you mask the taste of the actual food with the spices or spices. If I eat
Don't
lamb,
come to my
I'll
house.
have yours.
if I eat lamb, I like to taste like lamb, not to any mixer. Is my taste. I don't know.
Because he loves his food.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it simple. That's why I said that I really enjoy eating the barley with cheese, because it's barley and cheese. That's it. 2 ingredients.
I will have your curries. I'll fall on myself for you. I'll take 2 helpings just to make sure.
Depends if it's got meat in. If it's got meat in,
Well, yeah, that's it. Yeah, we'll cover it together. It's fun. Yeah.
I think in future we have to put this down as a rider, like no meat for some,
Yeah.
no flavour for Disney.
I like the flavor. I really like the flavor, but I don't like masking it.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Fair enough.
If I cook something with 1 or 2 spices, it's alright. But mixing so many, over the top for me.
Yeah. I think worst thing I've had many years ago before I was a veggie, I had snails, I think, when I was abroad, and they were just awful. Awful. Like, you know, it's just, I can still remember sitting at the table and the plate and everything, like it was that vivid in my mind. It was just horrible. It was just horrible.
I
So,
don't
yeah.
think I'd like them.
No,
They have come up before.
have they? Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not something I'd be down with.
No. I can imagine if they're done correctly, I guess they would taste nice, I guess. But, like, yeah. But the ones I had were not good.
The thing with the snails, I think that what it tastes nice is the sauce.
Yeah.
They're just like a protein.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, these weren't good. But yeah, there wasn't a sauce with them, to be fair, so maybe you're
It
right.
wasn't. Oh,
Yeah, no. They were just.
when I've heard people eating them in Spain, they eat them with a spicy tomato sauce,
Yeah.
and that's what the people like the spicy tomato sauce and licking the sauce from inside the shells. And
Oh, really? Yeah.
I don't.
Ugh. No, it scarred me.
But
Yeah.
I've had some things that maybe you would consider disgusting, but they tasted really good. Like all the guts, not the guts, but all the between organs, meat, and fat in the cows. In Madrid, people fry it up and make baguettes with it, and it's really yummy. It's very good.
I didn't know. So they just put it into a baguette and you just.
No, you fry it first,
Yeah.
so it gets like toasty,
Yeah.
and it loses all the fat, and it tastes really nice.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, so next question is, what's the most memorable meal you've ever had?
You go first, because you said that one.
Yeah,
I think
so
it's quite good.
for me, I like to source my own meat. So through hunting, fishing, I find that there's sort of a better connection with your food that way. I think we, as a country, certainly have definitely sort of lost our way with our relationship with meat, where it comes from. I know some of the kids that I teach, they have no idea where their meat comes from. They have no idea about the sort of the process behind it all. They just think, oh, it's just a chicken nugget, isn't it? Where do chicken nuggets come from? I don't know. Just chicken, Tesco's. So I think the first time that I sourced my own meat, it was duck. And I love duck anyway, but being able to be every part of the process, from sort of shooting the duck myself, preparing the duck, cooking the duck, tasting the duck, and definitely tasted a lot fresher. The way that I would have it, and it's a struggle to get there in this day and age. I would love to be able to source all of my own meat myself. So pheasant, duck, venison
That's
to
what your
replace.
farm animal
That's it, yeah.
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 Yeah, I'd love to replace every kind of bought meat in my diet with sourced meat that I source myself. So I think the first real sort of time that I'd sort of sourced my own meat was the most memorable meal. And every meal since is just as memorable for me.
Well, when we discussed this the other day, I said actually something a bit similar to that. And it's a time that driving at night with my granddad, we killed a hare with the car. So we stopped, we grabbed it, skinned it, and make it for dinner. And it was really nice, yeah.
This was, of course, in Spain because it's not legal to do that here.
Yeah, it was in Spain, yeah.
I think for me, I kind of, again, it's a memory more than anything to do with my dad, I think. He used to do fantastic, he still does do fantastic curries. I would say that the most memorable meals I probably had of those. I've always tried to replicate them. He lives really far up north now, so I don't get to see him as much as I used to. But whenever we go up, he always does one of his curries, and it's great. So, and I can never replicate it ever. Mine pale in comparison. So yeah, I'd say that's probably the most memorable thing I've ever eaten.
I reckon we should take Vizzy up to see your dad.
I know, right?
Yeah, if we can change his mind on
He
curries.
loves heat as well. The hotter the better. So you were in your element then, isn't you? Definitely.
Yeah.
Vindaloos, that kind of thing, maybe. What do you reckon?
I'm up for a holiday.
But yeah, I'd say that's it. It's probably the most memorable. 100%. Yeah. Spend the rest of my life trying to make them as good. I just can't do it. Good.
Well, on that note, guys, if you died and your family and friends are preparing your grave goods, what food and drink are you taking to the feast in Valhalla?
Unlimited cows and pigs roasting over a fire.
Okay, you're both
You
off
know.
the farm. Sorry.
Yeah,
No.
that's it. A drink, coffee.
Yeah.
No, water. I think water.
I think spice, honestly. Like chilies, spices, that kind of stuff. I think I would be buried with that quite easily.
My
wife-
to seat you guys separately.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. We go through two very different doors. Yeah, that's it. But I think there's like Jen will, my wife will quite often put in. She doesn't eat a lot of heat and a lot of spice and things, so quite often we'll put in just various chilies and stuff, and not knowing what they are, and then will tell me after I took the first couple of bites, oh, geez, it's really hot, and they turn out to be ridiculously hot peppers or something. So I think that would probably be the thing that I'd be buried with or burnt with, 100%.
For me, it would. I think you guys would agree. It would probably be a can monster.
I knew that was coming.
And I'd probably have some venison in there with me.
Fair.
Someone else has said that before. Said it. Not been shown. Someone said they
Forest
think.
beef.
Yeah.
Forest beef.
I'm going to get you a whole thing sponsored by Monster. Yeah, it's Monster everything.
Maybe they can sponsor you next album.
Yeah, that's it.
Monster blood.
All right, that's it. Yeah.
Done deal. They don't know it yet.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Anyone from Monster out there? Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you all for your time today.
That's been a
Coming over to
pleasure.
see me.
Thank you for
Yeah,
having
thank you very
us
much for
and
having
giving
us.
some great food.
People stay tuned. They can watch one of your performances we'll put on after we finish the chat. They're
Wicked.
going to record a couple of tracks for us.
Yeah, lovely.
But where can people find you, find your music, that kind of thing?
So we are on Facebook, Seidrblot, Instagram, Seidrblot. Find us on Bandcamp, Seidrblot, Spotify, Seidrblot.
Yeah.
We're on all the main things. Instagram is probably easiest one to reach us through. And we've got our link tree on there, which gives you links to everything.
Yeah.
If anyone needs to contact us for any booking or any, I don't know, asking for our music, just our email is on the Instagram profile or
The link
Facebook
tree.
profile. Yeah.
Everything's on the link tree.
Yeah.
But it's Seidrblot, Seidrblot.
Yeah. They're all the major platforms, as John said, so that if you want to hear our music, obviously our new album will be coming out
Yep.
hopefully in the near future, and that'll be up on all major platforms as well.
All major streaming platforms.
Which you said probably spring, summerish.
Late spring, early summer.
Yeah.
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 We'll
Yeah.
try and get it out as soon as possible because we're really excited to get this music out to the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks very much for having us.
Thank you
Really
very much.
appreciate it.
Welcome.
We're
Yeah.
looking forward for round 2 after we release the album.
Yeah, come back on. Maybe we'll do one at Butser.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, right. Thanks for listening. And as I say, stay tuned for a bit longer and you can watch them perform a couple of tracks.
Spot on.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed the show and want to hear more, remember to like and subscribe and give the show a rating. You can also help keep the show going by becoming a Patreon, where you'll get early access to all episodes. Or check out my range of merch on my store. Links are in the episode description. Thanks for watching.